Tearing of eyes is a very common concern that people who suffer from synkinesis experience. When a person who suffers from synkinesis usually observe that when they are trying to eat, especially something which is very hot, spicy, or something which has lots and lots of spice, at that time they will struggle with tears coming from the eyes. This also happens when they are in front of screen or they are trying to express themselves. Why does this happen? This is called as synkinetic lacrimation. This particular phenomena happens because your facial nerve is also responsible for your saliva secretion at the same time your tear secretion. Due to synkinesis, somewhere it gets interlinked. That's where whenever there are situations where there is more saliva production inside your mouth, at that time there will be more lacrimation or tear production in your tear glands. Now, this cannot be completely eliminated, but there are certain practices that you can do to avoid this or reduce this. Today, what I'm going to share with you are the 5 important critical habits that you should definitely inculcate in your day-to-day life to reduce the symptoms. Let's understand what are those. Number 1, eat slowly and eat smaller bites. When you eat slow and take smaller bites, your body has to produce less saliva, and even though if your body produces more saliva, the lack of slow movements, there will not be enough facial and eye contraction, which will limit or reduce the tear gland production. Number 2, avoid extremely hot and spicy food. As I told you, extremely hot and spicy food will immediately activate or create a reflex action which might increase your saliva production, which eventually will increase your tear production as well. That's why try to eat soft, not extremely hot, but lukewarm food, which will be easy for your mouth and at the same time for your tear glands. Number 3, keep your facial movements as minimal as possible. If you chew very hard or if you try to make facial expressions while chewing, your facial muscles will get confused and they might start contracting in random direction, making the tear gland more active. But if you try to keep your facial movements as minimal as possible, this will prevent the tearing, as it will keep your eye muscles and your facial muscles relaxed. The fourth thing that you can do is when you are trying to chew or eat something, but still if your tears are not under control, try to take a pause. Allow your tears to settle down and then start chewing again. This will give your body that time to settle and relax, because it's very important for you to understand that when you were suffering from Bell's palsy, at that time your facial muscles were struggling to move, to create all the facial movements, which then subconsciously becomes an habit. That's where in general you have the tendency to move your facial muscles more than you used to move before. That's the reason when you calm your facial muscles down, the over contraction reduces and helps in reduction of excessive tearing. The fifth thing that you have to keep in mind is make sure that you breathe from your nose and avoid breathing from your mouth. This will create drying of saliva inside your mouth. When you will breathe from your mouth, this will create dry mouth and can cause irritation and can increase the saliva production, which eventually causes excessive tearing from your eyes. So these are the 5 critical habits that you can definitely address in order to reduce your excessive tearing from your eyes due to synkinesis. Make sure that you take hot compression around your lower eyelids where your tear glands are produced at least 2 to 3 times in a day. That warm compress will relax your tear glands and will allow your eye muscles to stay relaxed, which will eventually reduce the tear production. Last but not the least, doing regular calming breathing exercises also makes your facial muscles more relaxed, reducing these symptoms. There are certain practices that can definitely help in reducing the tearing around the eyes, which can reduce the tearing from the eyes, but that needs to be done under supervision and with proper care. So make sure to take on professional help if you are someone who is suffering from synkinesis. But now let me tell you what are the things you should definitely avoid when you have the problem of excessive tearing from your eyes. Number 1, avoid wiping or rubbing your eyes very harshly with your hands. This will further damage your eye muscles, it will irritate your tear gland and can increase your tear production. Instead of that, whenever you get tears, gently dab and wipe. Dab instead of harshly wiping your tears. Number 2, avoid forceful closing or squeezing of your eyes. The more force you apply, the more reflex triggering you are trying to do, which will increase your tear production. Number 3, try to practice gentle eye control over strong eye control. There are a lot of people who try to consciously reduce or control their tear production. This is what you are doing is you are excessively contracting these facial muscles, which will further increase your tear production. So don't do that. Instead, let those tears come out, which are actually coming, and then gently dab it and remove it from your face, but don't force your eyes to stop it. Last but not the least, aggressively doing facial exercises. The more aggressive facial exercises you do, the more aggressive chewing you are going to do, you are going to trigger your eye contraction, further leading to excessive tearing. So make sure you don't do it. So these were some critical habits that you have to adopt and critical habits that you have to avoid when you have got this problem of crocodile tears or else excessive tearing. I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends and family members, and do not forget to subscribe to HealthQ channel. On that note, I'll see you in another video. Thank you.